Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. I love Man of Steel. It's a contemporary take on Superman. Here's the thing, Superman isn't a contemporary character. Never has been, never will be. Superman is the way we wish the world was, not the way we wished the world is. Do you understand? That's a very interesting concept there. So you can't make Superman contemporary. Superman is a fantasy. And I believe this is the reason why a Superman movie has never succeeded in the way Superman the movie did in 1978. To make a great, successful Superman movie, you've got to believe in the myth. Richard Donner believed in the myth. He wanted you to believe in Superman and his ideals and the world we wished we lived in. Superman cannot be contemporary. Superman Returns isn't a celebration of Superman. It's a director obsessed about a movie about Superman. That's why that movie didn't succeed. It was a love letter to Richard Donner, and not the greatest of love letters either. I like the film, I think it's okay, but this is where the misunderstanding is. And until Hollywood understand what it takes to make a great, successful Superman movie, we're going to be on some kind of Groundhog Day. To make a great, successful movie, you need someone who loves Superman, who understands Superman. To make a great Superman, you must celebrate the American ideals. The problem with that is it's the celebration of the empire invading the Americas and doing the despicable things that they did to the natives. There's an interesting line of dialogue on the balcony scene in Superman the movie. So Lois asks him in the interview, what are you doing here? It's basically truth, justice, and the American way. And Lois is us in 2022, and she says, you're going to end up fighting every politician in America. And Superman goes, I'm sure you don't mean that, Lois. It's two edges of the coin. Superman believes in the American system. Superman is a naive farm boy. He hasn't lived in the big, wide world. He doesn't realize that what the White House is corrupt, that politics, that the capitalist world is corrupt. He's a naive farm boy. He believes in those ideals because he believes those ideals will impact fairness and justice, not just in America, but in the whole of the universe and the whole of creation. He believes in that. He hasn't lived in the world like Lois has. Lois Lane's father is a fucking general. She's seen it all. She's a woman of the world. That's why Lois is better for Clark and Superman than Lana, because Lana is a naive farm girl as well. And in Smallville, she's been so tainted by the dark side of life, she could never believe in the things that Clark does. There's a difference there. So that's what I like about the balcony scene. You see, Richard Donner isn't celebrating the whole idea of celebrating America, the empire's invasion of the Americas. That's not the point. And I think that's the problem with modern contemporary Hollywood. They don't want to celebrate the ideals of America, but they don't also want to celebrate the ideals of Superman that created Superman, because they believe it sends a bad message and celebrates something that shouldn't be celebrated. But Richard Donner wasn't trying to celebrate that, because he has two different characters here. Superman saying, I'm here for truth, justice in the American way, and Lois Lane says you're going to end up fighting every politician. So you've got the two sides you've got two different sides here. And Lois Lane learns what Superman means by truth, justice in the American way. And it isn't about capitalism or invasion or celebrating the bad things. It's about fairness, about equality. It's about catching people when they fall. That's what Superman means. That's what he means. And that's why we haven't had a successful Superman film. Richard Donner believed in it. And as he said in many interviews, I wasn't going to mess around with Granny's apple pie and Americana. But you don't have to make Superman political. You don't have to look at Superman literally to make him successful. But until someone understands that Superman's a fantasy and you can't make him a contemporary character like Christopher Nolan, David Goyer and Zack Snyder did in Man of Steel, they believed by putting Superman in the real world and making him contemporary, this was the key. It's not the key. He is not contemporary. You can do this with any other character. You can do it with Daredevil. You can do it with Batman because they're real people fighting a never-ending war. But Superman, as I've said, is a naive farm boy. He believes in the core values of the world and he wants to uphold them. He's not a fascist. He's been accused of being a fascist. There's this thing with Superman haters to say, he's too good. How can you be too good? We wish we were all as good as Superman. We don't have to be as good as Superman. He does it for us in the myth of the Superman story. That's the point. You don't make him contemporary. You don't put him in the real world. You create a fantasy world where he's trying to teach us why being too good, and how can you be too good? You can never be too good, right? He's teaching us lessons. When young boys and girls were watching Smallville, I remember one kid saying on a video, saying, I was at college once and I was going to nick the spoons and the forks. And then this kid says, I was thinking, would Clark do this? No, so I didn't steal the spoons and the forks. You get it? He's a great inspiration to young people. And he can be again, if we actually understand what the character is. He's wish fulfillment. And that's why you can't make him a contemporary character. You don't have Superman snapping a villain's neck or anybody else's neck. And that's the thing. Because there's a lack of understanding why Superman works. Bryan Singer didn't understand how Donner made Superman work. Ultimately, if you look at his film, he didn't. Zack Snyder doesn't get Superman. Zack Snyder's not particularly a big Superman fan. He's a Batman fan, and that's okay. He gave us a Superman from his own imagination and his own eyes. It's a modern filmmaker's take on Superman, and I love watching Man of Steel as a piece of entertainment. But there's a reason why it didn't capture the imagination like Superman the movie did. Superman the movie created the world we wished we lived in, not the world we lived in, and put Superman in it. And that's why, my friends, it didn't work. And a Superman film will never completely work until we understand who and what Superman is. You can scream and shout at me and say, Man of Steel is this, BVS is that. I love those films. I love the Snyderverse. And I think there's a space out there somewhere where the man can expand on his vision, as long as it's not centrally, because we need something else for the studio to be successful. But that's what Superman is. He's your fantasy of a better world, of having a world where a character has these core values, a very moral character brought up by very moral people who believe in the American system as it was, or as it is. Now, maybe you may see that as fascism, but that's not how they see it, and that's not how Superman sees it. Superman doesn't want to enforce his beliefs or will onto you. He just wants you to be safe. That's it. He wants to keep the natural order of things. Now, if that's a kind of standard that you don't believe in, he's not doing this to be political. He's doing this because he's pure and he's a hero, and that's how he's been raised. So if we can have a director who understands Superman, who gets Superman, we could have a very, very special movie. You don't need Superman to be complex or multi-layered or multi-dimensional. You just need him to be a hero. You need him to be in a world we wished we lived in, with a character that we can look up to. Superman's not just about the powers and the gee whiz, which are great, and it's part of the reason I loved him as a kid, but I looked up to him. Christopher Reeve's Superman was a Superman you could look up to. He was the Superman from the comics. Okay, if you look deeply at the films, there's certain things that are not loyal to the comics, like the green rock that helps build the fortress. That could be confusing. It looks like kryptonite. I get it. But that's just nitpicking, right? That's why that film has lasted. Because it believed in the core values of Superman. It wasn't trying to be political. And that's why that moment on the balcony with Lois, when she's being cynical about the truth, justice, and the American way thing, works. Because the film isn't trying to say that's the right way. It's the woman who's totally doting on him at the time even questions him on what he's saying, which I think is beautiful. And I don't think many people have really noticed that. But if you take these values of this character and you put them on the big screen, and it's a fantasy, and you're looking at a world where there is criminals, there are bad things happening, but there's this person with superpowers and values and morals. And then I think we can have a very, very special Superman film. Nobody's saying that you need to make exactly the same film as Dick Donner. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the point. The point being, Superman must be Superman. Now, Smallville changed a lot of things about the Superman character. Lex Luthor being in Smallville, Clark and Lex being friends. I see it as a kind of Elseworld story. But ultimately, Clark Kent has core values. Clark Kent is the too good character, right? Because of his parents and the values that they instilled in him. If he was brought up by the Luthors, he would be different. And we saw that in that kind of multiverse story they did in season 10, when we had Clark Luthor and Ultraman. And we saw what happens. He murdered Lex Luthor so he could have the power of his father's money. And Smallville always spoke about that all the time. You know, nature over nurture. You know, and nurture wins out. It's how you bring up a child. It's the values you instill in him or her, or however you identify as, right? And that's what Superman is. The question of nature over nurture. Jor-El was a good person who did everything to save his world, who tried to beg the Kryptonian Council to educate them about climate change and what was happening to their planet, and they didn't listen. He was a good man, and he saved his son and he sent him to Earth. He gave humanity a gift. That's what Superman is. That's what a Superman story should be doing. Superman isn't contemporary. He's a fantasy. He's a myth. He is Santa Claus. He is someone who comes into your life via fantasy and makes you think about how you could be. You haven't got superpowers, but you can be as good as Superman if you choose to be. You can go and make a difference in people's lives. That's the inspiration. So if we can find a writer-director who believes in Superman, who first and foremost likes Superman and understands who Superman is, then we could have something really special. It's not a rinse and repeat of the Donner movie, no. But it must have the same belief that Donner had. Donner believed in the character, and he was very strict and passionate about making him the Superman from the comics, having the values of the Superman in the comics, and understanding Superman is not a reality. Zack Snyder made him a reality. That's the difference. Again, I love that film and I love BVS, but it didn't ring true for the core Superman fans. Ultimately, you want these films to make money. If you're just going to make Superman a contemporary character and you just want to use his name, you're not going to be successful. Because these other projects we've seen have proven that. But Donner understood why people, that's what it is. He understood why people loved Superman. Superman the movie, contemporary today, in today's kind of finances, would have made over $2 billion at the worldwide global box office, let alone what it made on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray 4K, etc. That film is a win. But it's not just about the financial success, everyone. It's about what it means to people. It still means something today. Not just the core values of the character in the film, but when you look at what Richard Donner did, he almost broke himself creating new technology to make it look believable that a man could fly. When he's chasing after that rocket, even today in 2022 with all this VFX technology, it looks better than any VFX in phase 4 of the MCU. So that film has everything. Effects, real effects, done in the camera, sensational. But ultimately, the most important thing about Superman the movie, and the reason it's lasted today, and it will last for the next 100, 200 years, after we're all gone, and there's new Superman fans, because they believed in the myth. They believed in who Superman is. I'm going to finish this video how I started it. Superman isn't a contemporary character. You need to understand that. You can fight that, but it's the truth. He is the way we wished the world could be, not the way the world is, not the world that we live in. You can't put Superman in a contemporary world. And you can debate this constructively in the comments down below if you want. I'll be happy to get into it with you. But until we understand this, until we see who Superman truly is, modern day Hollywood are confused. They don't think Superman's relatable because he's too good and too powerful. They're missing the point. Him being indestructible, and he's not. By the way, magic can kill Superman. Kryptonite can kill Superman. There's many other ways, if you research in the comics, that can actually physically hurt or kill Superman. So it's a myth that he can't be killed. But that's not the point. You do what Smallville did. You put emotional obstacles in his way as well, and that's how you make him relatable. When Lois dies and he fails to save her, which is blasphemy to Superman, failing to save a life, let alone the woman he loves, he can't accept it. He screams to the heavens, his father's voice, you cannot interfere with human history, and he does, because he knows he has to save her life. He knows he has to. That's who Superman is. That's why he's a myth. He's a myth, everyone. He's not contemporary. But today's filmmakers don't understand it. We need someone like Richard Donner who actually likes the character, who understands the character. You need a writer-director who gets it, who bleeds Superman, who eats, drinks and craps Superman, right? Because if we keep on getting directors like J.J. Abrams and people like Zack Snyder, who are very talented and I have a lot of respect for, we're going to come up with the same results. This is how you make him relatable, by being faithful to the actual material. No, we are not at a time when Superman isn't relatable. He is relatable. Him being good is exactly what we need in today's world, where we can go on social media and hate each other and attempt to destroy each other so deeply over a disagreement of an opinion. Superman is better than that. He doesn't look down at us. He looks over us. He looks after us. No matter if you think someone's bad or good, he will still save that person's life. There's elements of Man of Steel that tries to do this. It just doesn't explain it to the audience enough. That's the problem with Man of Steel. As much as I love it, it's a great movie. Superman the movie kept faith in who Superman was. They wasn't ashamed to say, this is a good guy with superpowers. And Christopher Reeve made Clark, Kal-El, and Superman likable. Christopher Reeve made you believe that there can be someone who's too good, because there's nothing wrong with being too good. And that's where I'm going to close off this video. As you can tell, I'm a passionate Superman fan. I love all the Supermen, all the actors who have played Superman, all the different versions. This is not about me saying Superman the movie is better than Man of Steel. It's not about that. I don't think you can have that discussion. Superman the movie was made in '78. Man of Steel was made in a contemporary world. The younger people who've seen Man of Steel first are going to love Man of Steel, and other people are going to prefer Superman the movie. But Superman the movie is a faithful telling of Superman, the myth and the legend. That film says it's okay to be good. This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you on Monday's video. Until we see each other again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.